Welcome to my views and news. Main news story from Shewa Robit, North Shewa zone of the Amhara region, where we have been seeing tension for the last 3 days. Fano fighters were there, then Ethiopian National Defense Force entered the town. Fano fighters retreated towards nearby forests and mountains, but the road was blocked, traffic flow was interrupted. Now reports are coming in that Ethiopian army is withdrawing from Shewa Robit, while Shewa Robit city government has released a statement confirming that city is under temporary command post of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Fano fighters are reportedly back in Shewa Robit. What is happening there? Was there any fighting in Shewa Robit? Secondly, the talks between the Oromo Liberation Army and Ethiopian government were concluded today. For around 9 days, the two parties held discussions in Tanzania. Government issued a statement today. Does this statement show any signs of progress made in the talks? I will try to analyze a government's statement for you. Firstly, viewers, North Shewa zone of the Amhara region, where Ethiopian National Defense Force has launched an operation to disarm Fano fighters. Operation was launched after the death of Girma Yeshitela, Amhara Prosperity Party leader, who was assassinated in North Shewa, who was from North Shewa originally. We saw that large number of ENDF soldiers entered North Shewa zone, especially in Shewa Robit. There were thousands of ENDF soldiers reported. Fano fighters, Shewa Fano, led by Balate, Shigao and others. Shewa Fano fighters, they retreated from main towns and cities. From Mataya, Majate, Shewa Robit. These Fano fighters retreated towards mountainous areas, towards forests, situated to the west of these towns and cities. As I reported yesterday, again I'm repeating, Ethiopian army did not chase Fano fighters. Fano fighters were in forests, in mountains nearby. Ethiopian army seized control of these main town cities along the road, Dasi, Debre Birhan road. But we saw that the road remained blocked for several hours yesterday. And this morning as well, there was no traffic along the road. So the road was blocked. There was fear that there could be attacks on vehicles. That is why traffic was almost nowhere to be seen along the road, especially in Shewa Robit. Fighting was away from Shewa Robit. I could not confirm yesterday or today any heavy fighting in Shewa Robit town. Though Amharic sources are claiming there was heavy fighting, ENDF suffered heavy losses, dozens of soldiers have been injured. I could not confirm large-scale fighting in Shewa Robit between Ethiopian army and Fano fighters. Small-scale clashes happened at a distance from Shewa Robit. But Fano fighters definitely have support in Shewa Robit, in the outskirts as well. Fano was established years ago in this zone. Ethnic Amharas, some of them, not all of them, they support Fano fighters. And I said yesterday that this support will continue, especially in countryside. Ethiopian army did not chase Fano fighters. Road blocked this morning. And now, reportedly, Ethiopian army is withdrawing from Shewa Robit. Fano fighters are back in the town. People already there, Fano fighters are now back. City government there too. Why is Ethiopian army withdrawing from Shewa Robit? different accounts are being shared. Pro-Amhara news outlets claimed that Ethiopian army suffered heavy losses, several were injured, so they decided to withdraw. I have no confirmation about this claim made by pro-Amhara news sources. Another account of what happened is being shared. It is being claimed that there were splits within Ethiopian National Defense Force. Soldiers were not ready to fire at Fano fighters because both fought together in the war against Tigray last year. Now, we'll try to find out what happened really, but so far, only confirmation is that Ethiopian army is withdrawing from Shewa Robit. My understanding is that I think Ethiopian army has realized that an all-out operation against Fano will escalate the situation. It will lead to direct confrontation between the people of Amhara region and Fano fighters. People are supporting Fano fighters. So it will be start of a new war in the Amhara region, where there is massive support of people for Fano fighters. Ethiopian army is withdrawing from those areas. Why? It is not that the army is weak. No, it is because army does not want to escalate the situation. It does not want to start a new war. You see what happened in Kobo 2 days ago. They were there in Kobo. They conducted house-to-house searches. People protested and the army withdrew. Same seems to be happening here. But Shewa Robit city government just a few hours ago passed some instructions for the people of Shewa Robit. The city government says that rumors are being spread about disarmament of locals. Locals will not be disarmed in Shewa Robit. All are rumors. Secondly, government said that security of the city is under Ethiopian National Defense Force. Temporary ENDF command post has been established in Shewa Robit. So this statement indicates that Ethiopian army is there. There could be withdrawals. It does not mean that the town is not under ENDF control. There are ENDF deployments, but hundreds are leaving as well. Overall, we'll have to wait and see. Only confirmation: Fano fighters back in Shewa Robit, Ethiopian army withdrawing. Let's wait a little for an update. Secondly, viewers, talks between the Oromo Liberation Army and Ethiopian government have been concluded in Tanzania. Talks started on last Tuesday. For around 8 to 9 days, the two parties met in Tanzania, mediated by some foreign players and IGAD, Western players and IGAD. What was discussed? I don't know, but Ethiopian Communication Minister issued a statement just a few minutes ago confirming the closure of talks. Any progress made? What did the government say? Government says talks were held. First round of talks has been concluded. Unfortunately, no agreement could be reached on some issues. But the two parties have acknowledged the need to continue these engagements. Government is committed to peaceful resolution of this issue in accordance with Ethiopian FDRE constitution, in accordance with the fundamental principles adopted for the resolution of such issues recently. And lastly, government thanked those who facilitated this negotiation in Tanzania. Well, we can conclude no progress made. Only progress is that the two parties are going to continue their engagements. Firstly, why did the government say that talks will continue in accordance with Ethiopian constitution? are OLA's demands unconstitutional or above and beyond constitution? There are some issues. I said, if you remember, when I analyzed the start of talks, I said talks between OLA and government would be more challenging than talks between TPLF and Ethiopian government. Why? Because TPLF was negotiating from a position of weakness. It was suffering military losses. Its people were dying under siege. OLA is not negotiating from a position of strength. Secondly, OLA's panel of mediators consists of people from abroad, people from OLF, diaspora. OLA has managed to form a very strong team of mediators. And this team is issuing this team of mediators is highlighting, it's raising some very core issues. Issues like establishment of transitional government, issues like right to self-determination, issues like status of Addis Ababa, and several other key issues which cannot be resolved in one session. I said, if you remember, that other regional players will have to be involved too, federal players too, for these talks to be concluded successfully. So let's see. OLA is silent, no statement from OLA so far. Ethiopian government says that constructive engagements happened, but unfortunately no agreement reached. I think several rounds of talks will be held. At least talks have not collapsed totally. Issues are there unresolved. Komsa, if you remember, said 3 days ago that the issues could not be resolved in just one session. The talks will continue. So let's hope, let's pray these engagements continue. At least there is informal, unofficial ceasefire in Oromo. No large-scale fighting ongoing in any part of Oromo. Let's see when and where the second round of talks is going to be held between the two parties. Thank you for watching.